Grace's today. I pulled in $50 in the past 10 minutes.
Got time for a coffee break?
Nope, I got no time.
Okay.
So, what are you wearing to the Whitaker barbecue? That fancy outfit Lance tried to give me?
Just because it didn't fit you, Grace, I cannot keep it.
Why, Holden giving you a hard time? That jealousy of his?
He wants to pay Lance back every cent for that outfit.
Whew. Take a couple of weeks to cover the price of that thing.
No kidding. No kidding. He needs to send that money back to his family. They may lose their father.
Always gets back to money one way or the other. I wish I could up his wages some, but I'm still paying off that stove back there.
I wasn't hinting, Grace.
Well, I know.
Why? You know, it's so funny. You don't realize how important money is until you don't have it. Maybe people with money, maybe that's why they're so unsensitive.
You know, I'm not asking questions, but wherever you came from and whoever raised you did a mighty fine job. You'd make any mother proud. Honey, I'm sorry.
Okay, just let me make change to this 50, all right?
Yeah, sorry, that's all I had. Hey, where's Grace?
She's probably in the kitchen. I'll tell you, that's some car you got there.
Graduation present. Still, I'm getting used to all the gears, though. Maybe you should check the oil.
Okay, I will. No problem.
Oh, Holden, Well,
Hey, girl. It's about time you showed your face around here. I missed that pretty smile. So have you met my new help?
Well, no, not really.
Holden Snyder.
and this is Lily. This is Mary Pat. Mary Pat O'Neill.
Nice to meet you, Lily. And you too, Holden.
Same here.
Jessica, hi, it's Betsy. I just picked up your message.
Great. Are you going to be there for an hour or so? I'd like to come by. There's something I want to discuss. It could save Craig's business.
Great. Yeah, sure I will, but I think Sierra should hear it too.
Yeah, could you ask her to come by the office?
Oh, I don't know about that. She hasn't been here since Greece and...
I understand. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll come by and I'll fill you in, and then I'll stop by Sierra's later on this afternoon, depending on my schedule. I may have to go down to the police station.
Hey, does that have anything to do with that Doris Pierpont murder I've been reading about?
Well, my client asked me to stand by just in case they press charges.
Not Duncan.
Duncan swears that James Stenbeck is responsible.
James? Well, that would mean that...
I know what you're thinking, Betsy. But the police insist that he's nowhere near Oakdale. But I would still warn Emily.
Yeah, I will. Okay, thanks, Jessica. I'll see you later. Bye.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
I thought it was high time that Bryant came to see his father's office. Bryant, maybe someday this will be called Montgomery and Son.
Oh, Emily. Oh, come in. What a surprise.
Hey, Lisa.
Oh, it's like old times.
No, hope it's not like old times. Hopefully I learned from some of my mistakes.
Oh, I think we do. We learn, we go on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. As a matter of fact, I just got back from the Oakdale Employment Agency.
Oh, why? I thought... Barbara, well, didn't she offer your old job
Yeah,
back?
she did. And I really appreciate that, Lisa. I just don't think it's such a good idea. You know, it's like going back to something that's already over.
I understand. How about a cup of coffee?
Yeah, I'd love some.
Great, all right. So, did you have any luck at the employment agency?
No. As a matter of fact, they didn't. As soon as they recognized my name, that was it. You know, nobody really wants to hire scandal, right?
No.
Listen, the reason why I came by, I wanted to find out if anybody heard from Paul.
Oh, yes, Barbara heard from him, and he's just having a wonderful time at Camp Geneva.
Great. Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm really glad that he's away now.
Oh, I am too, especially after last night. Good grief.
What? Especially what happened last night?
You haven't read the papers? You haven't watched television, listened to the news on the radio or anything?
No. Why?
Oh, honey, the most awful thing happened. I've got a story for you. Hold on just a second. Excuse me. Hello, Fashions. Lisa Mitchell here. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Would you please speak up? One of those long-distance calls. Yes? David? David Stewart, is that you? It's so... Oh, forgive me. I thought you said Stewart, and apologize. Yes, she is here. Hold on. Yes.
Hello?
Hello, Emily.
Who is this?
Who do you think? I have a favor to ask you, and I don't want you to turn me down, or the consequences could be unfortunate. Do you understand, Emily?
The Emmy Award winner, As the World Turns. This portion brought to you today by Cascade, powder and liquid Cascade for virtually spotless dishes. And by Fixident, for a hold that really makes a difference. Fixident and forget it.
Is Lisa right there eavesdropping? Emily?
Yes. How did you know where to reach me?
Emily, I know every word you utter, every move you make, everything you do. I'm really glad to see you being so cooperative. I would hate to have to get in contact with those witnesses who saw you kill Nigel Cromwell and shove him overboard.
Well, that never happened.
Now, so you keep saying. Listen, I don't want to talk about this over the phone.
What do you want?
I want you to pay me a visit.
Where?
Where? Do you have any idea the number of people that would like the answer to that question? Including the police?
Yes.
Well, then you know how much trust I'm about to place in you.
Yes.
Trust is important, Emily. I trust your love, and I trust you not to say anything. So how would you like to take a nice drive up into the mountains to this wonderful cabin with all the comforts of home, thanks to your grandparents? You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Good, so I'll see you later this morning.
I don't know if that's possible.
Emily, anything is possible if it's important enough. And this is important to me, to you, and to Paul. I told him you were coming up.
I thought that...
What? Camp Geneva? Mere subterfuge. So I'll see you before noon? Which doesn't give you much time. Now, darling, I want you to drive safely. I'll be waiting. Goodbye.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. About 10 o'clock. How'd you sleep?
Oh, not so good. I kept waking up during the middle of the night. I ain't heard of some of this.
No, a new bed does it to me every time.
Well, maybe, but I kept hearing noises, you know, twigs and branches and stuff snapping out of the woods. I thought maybe it was the police sneaking up on this place.
Hey, son, that's not going to happen.
But by now, Mom's figured out that I'm not at Camp Geneva.
Yeah, well, you let me worry about that. How'd you like to go to Greece? Hmm?
Grace? All right. But what about school?
School? Son, a real education comes from experience. You'll learn twice as much out there in the real world with me than you will sitting in some classroom. Hey, guess who's coming up to see us later?
Who?
Emily.
Are you kidding?
Oh, just got off the phone with her.
But at Andy's house, the things that she said about you.
Son, that was all on purpose. It was just an act in case anyone was listening. It's part of the plan. I told you that.
No, I'm glad she's coming up. I really like Emily. I'm starting to get worried. Well,
Worry? Hey, there's one thing that I'm going to teach you not to do. Worry is for little people who don't have the guts to change the circumstances about their life. That's not us. Anything we want, we get. That's what being a Steinbeck's all about, right?
got it.
Good. Now, how about some steak and eggs for breakfast, and then some fish, okay?
Hey, keep that in the pool.
I miss your ugly mother on the metro. Oh, stop. Come on. I'm not going to be gone forever. Just hang in there. And while you're at it, hang on to Kathy, too. But most importantly, don't let her talk you into boozing it up with her.
Listen, I'm gonna need a pen. Take your number down. I'll give you a call.
I'll call you.
It's really goodbye, isn't it?
You're a great friend, Andy. Thanks. Just take care.
Hey, Paul. It's not too late to change your mind, man.
Please just wish me luck.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, you might need it.
Need what?
Hey, how are you?
I could have been drowning out there. You didn't even see me.
Hey, be careful. Come here, come here. Listen, you're not cutting class, are you?
Oh, you sound just like my parents. Well, Kathy, since you had to spoil everything by going to summer school, the least you could do is get straight A's.
I don't have a class until this afternoon. Don't tell Mom that. She would make me stay in the house.
Kathy,
Study, study, study. All the time.
you've already been drinking.
No. A little bit. It just helps me relax.
Look, if you were any more relaxed, you'd be comatose right now.
So I guess it's working,
It's
right?
10 in the morning.
Mornings are the worst. They start picking on me the second I wake up. I can't take it. I need something, you know? Just so I can face them and everything.
I'm gonna get you some coffee, all right? Just hang on.
Andy, don't hate me, okay? I'm sorry.
I don't hate you. You know that. Just hang on. I'll be right back.
Well, too bad you didn't accept my drink invitation last night. It would have saved me from a lot of grief.
Why? You went home to Lila's, didn't you?
Yeah, do me a favor. Don't ever write an advice column for the Lovelorn, okay?
She still says she needs you, even if she can't admit it.
Well, Margot moved in last night, so now mother and daughter can prop each other up.
Margot? I thought by now she and Tom would have...
Nope. Bad summer for romance. Listen, I'm sorry to dump all this on you. I'll shut up now and let you enjoy the sun.
At the risk of sounding like Dear Abby again, I think I know one way that could make Lila take notice. At least it always worked with me. Why don't you whip up one of those special romantic dinners?
Oh, just stop, all right? Enough already. I'm sorry I sat down here.
Wait, please, I'm sorry.
Just stop giving out advice, okay? I'm not going back there.
What do you mean? You're not going back where?
I'm not going back to Lila's. I moved out this morning. I'm just going to go back to get my things. I moved in with Jordan at the residence dorm.
Oh, hi. Hi, Betsy. Hi, Sierra. I finished some of my work, so I thought I'd stop by and see if you need any help.
Oh, well, no, we're waiting on Jessica.
Wait, you know what? Well, Jessica is coming by to present us an idea, but if you have a few minutes, do you? I mean, maybe you could stay and listen to her, because I know that Craig respects your opinion, and so if you approve of it, I know he will.
Well,
Hello.
Sure. I'd be glad to.
Oh, Iva.
Hello, hi.
Nice to see you.
Hi,
I
nice
thought that
to
was
see
you
you.
getting on the elevator.
Yeah, hi.
Sierra, you're here.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
Well, you sound like you have good news for us.
Well, I just might. Why don't we get down to business? As you know, we've had several offers to buy Craig's business outright.
Yeah, I don't want to sell.
I know, and I've turned them all down. But a very interesting offer has come in, and I really think you should consider it. Have you ever heard of Juro Associates?
Yeah.
It's a reputable investment office based in Chicago, with offices also in Toronto. Well, anyway, they're a relatively new firm, but they know how to make money. And I've checked them out, and I really like what I see. And they've offered to take over Montgomery & Associates, pay all Craig's debts, service his current clients, and make every effort to bring in new accounts. You would receive a percentage of all the new profits as well as the original purchase price.
Jessica, I just said that I don't want to sell.
I know, Sierra, and I told him that, but they came back with an offer that I really don't see how we can turn it down. In the event that Craig returns...
Well, he will return.
Well, at that point, they've offered to sell the company back to Craig for the price of their original investment, plus a reasonable share of the profits from the business that they've brought in, and to leave the name as it stands.
So what's the hitch?
No hitch. Only Craig is the only one who can buy the business back.
And this is all in writing?
The contract's right here. Take a look.
Well, who would be in charge?
Mr. Juros said he personally oversees all of their operations. Of course, he would put one of his executives in charge here to run things. And Betsy, there's a clause that stipulates that you can keep your job, if you want it, with a handsome increase. Which is wise, because Betsy's the only one who knows the business inside and out.
Yeah, it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, words to make a lawyer suspicious. But I've gone through this contract with a fine-tooth comb, and it's legitimate. There's even a clause that guarantees a quarterly return, so that if the business is mismanaged, we can force them out. But the important thing is, Craig can buy the business back.
Jessica, it really sounds like the answer to my prayers.
Exactly. Well, let me go over a few more things.
No, wait, no, Jessica, no. It would waste time to retract their offer. Just take it. I mean, take it as soon as you can, okay? Please, Jessica, just take it.
No, Inspector Henrietta, I would have told you if I had hired a private investigator to come over and continue the search for Craig. Well, I hope that you'll keep me informed. The more information you get on this PI. Yes. Well, I hope so, too. Thank you, Inspector.
What happened?
There was a notice.
Craig?
No. No, apparently there's some PI from the States over there snooping into the plane crash, and I wonder who hired that guy.
Somebody who believes that Craig is still alive.
Do you think? No. Too much time's gone by. I hate this, you know. I just get used to the idea that he's dead, and I've learned to accept it, and then something like this happens, and I just... Thanks.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Hey, I called you at Lila's earlier this morning. You already left.
Yeah, I had an early appointment, something that I had to do.
So, you guys solved the case yet?
Which one? We got 2 murders and an international drug ring.
Yeah, and I just bet. You know, George Larbury, Doris Pierpont, and the Falcon, I bet they're all connected somehow. We crack one case here, we're going to crack them all.
You read the medical examiner's report on Doris? Estimated time of death, 6 p.m. And she was definitely garroted from behind.
6 p.m., 6 p.m., that means that there was enough time for somebody to put that body in Duncan's bed before 10 o'clock.
Well, Duncan could have died. After all, he didn't report it until 10:30.
So you don't buy McKechnie's story that it was Stenbeck's doing?
I think James Stenbeck would be I think he'd be crazy to come back here. But then again, he is crazy, so who knows? Besides, I mean, if Doris Pierpont was murdered because she could identify James Stenbeck's contact here in Oakdale...
Maybe the contact I stars himself.
Or herself, because that field is wide open. No, I take that back. When Doris Pierpont left Fashions, she made 2 phone calls to Duncan McKechnie and 5 phone calls to the Argus.
And 1 overseas call, which Roy is still tracing.
Huh. Has anyone heard from Barbara this morning? I mean, she said she was going to get back to us if she remembered if there was anyone else in Fashions when Doris was there.
Maybe I should call her. Oh, good morning, Miss Lawrence.
I believe it is the duty of all good citizens to accommodate the authorities, Detective, but I'm not in the habit of being summoned to the police station first thing in the morning.
Oh, really? And what time are you usually summoned?
I'm very appreciative of your awareness of your civic duty. We just wanted to bring you down here for a brief session of questioning about James Stenbeck and the murder of Doris Pierpont.
Hey, how about that glass iced tea you promised me?
Sure you have time?
Uh-huh. So is Mary Pat. Still back in the kitchen with Grace?
As if you didn't know. I saw you checking out her little sports car all morning long. Talk about full service.
I just never really saw anything like that before. I'm used to working on tractors and beat-up old pickups, but this one's nice. It's a real beauty.
So's the owner, with a personality to match.
I didn't notice. Okay, so I noticed. Look, Lance Whitaker, if he has a girl like her, and he's following around you all the time, I'd say that the guy is just looking for a challenge. He wants what he can't have. So trust me, okay?
Oh, my. Tell the truth now. You hired a young hunk like Holden so Logan get all fired up with jealousy and then he'd have to propose.
Oh, never crossed my mind. But now that you mention it. No, I'm content with things the way they are. For now. And speaking of proposals, how come Lance hasn't popped the question yet?
That'll be the day. Gracie, I don't even see him for weeks on end. Then he shows up with expensive presents and goes on with his hot and heavy words, and then he rides up into the sunset again. You should have seen this fancy designer outfit he bought for me last time. I made him take it back. Shoot, I gotta run. I promised Daddy I'd put an ad in the Gazette for the new stableman.
Oh, I was sorry to hear about Jesse. I know how much your dad depended on him.
Yeah, well, it was just a matter of time before Jesse had to move on. Some men just don't like putting down roots.
I know what you mean.
Put a quart of premium oil in your car, Miss O'Neill. You're all set.
Thank you, and it's Mary Pat, please, Holden. It was nice meeting you. And you too, Lily. So, if you hear of anybody who's a good stableman, let him know Daddy's willing to pay top dollar.
I'll remember that.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, then that would solve Sierra's problem, though, keeping Craig's business.
Yes, it would. Yes, that's the most important thing to her, is keeping the business till Craig gets back.
I wish I could share her conviction.
I know, it was so weird being in the office today, because I really thought he was going to walk in. I don't know why we do that to ourselves. I don't know, it's weird.
Oh, Iva, did you get my message?
No, I haven't been back to my office yet. Sierra wanted my opinion on an offer she got for Craig's business.
It must be hard for her to consider selling. But under the circumstances, with Craig's business so deeply in debt, she'll have no choice.
I wonder why she didn't ask your opinion.
So, we're going over to the yacht club because I want to show Tonio all the work I've done to make the reception just incredibly wonderful, and all the work, and I can't wait. So, you're going to be there. I mean, the whole family's going to be there, right?
Yes, we'll be there for you, Meg.
Okay, and I can count on you and Casey, right?
Oh, well, you can count on me, yes. I can't really speak for Casey.
Why not?
Well,
Franny! Hi, did you get my invitation? I know it was late. That invitation was for your whole family. I want everyone to be there.
well, it sounds like a big event.
It's going to be the biggest. Tonio said the sky's the limit, and I'm getting a lot of practice with this reception. If you'd like, I could help you with yours and Seth's.
Well, thanks. I need all the help I can get.
So, Franny, Seth told me you found a dress, a wedding dress?
Oh.
Yeah.
A Simply Barbara original?
Yeah, well, only because it's Barbara's wedding gift. I have my first fitting today. I'm just beginning to realize that I'm getting married very soon.
I'm sure you will be a beautiful bride.
Well, I'll be a nervous bride, I can tell you that. It's such a big thing, committing yourself to somebody for life.
Yeah, commitment. Yeah. You guys belong together. You do. It's hard to say. Listen, I have to get back to work.
Okay,
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Oh, Tony and I have lunch reservations, so we'll walk you to your office.
No, Meg.
No, we'll walk you to your office. I'll see you later. All right, bye. Tonight.
You all right? Yeah, sure. Just all this talk about weddings. Casey's putting on the pressure? Yes, he is. So finally I had to tell him no. For real? For real? Oh, well, I'm sorry. You guys seem so right for each other. Well, that's what they said about Tom and Margot, too.
Well, I guess there are no guarantees in life, but some things are worth the risk. Listen, if it's the idea of marriage that scares you, it scares me a lot, too, believe me.
It's not that simple, Franny.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Leaving so soon? Oh, we're very, very disappointed.
Jade, I tried to warn Paul about you.
Yes, I know. And you're going to tell Paul that you were putting on an act when you said those things, just in case anyone was listening. Is that clear? Is it? Now, furthermore, you're going to convince Paul that you still love me, which I really, really believe you do. And that you're going to leave with us when the time comes.
James, I'm so tired of lying
They're
for
not
you.
lies. Emily, in spite of everything, I truly believe that you still love me. As I still love you. You're very special to me, and had you not run away, I'd have proven that to you.
And if I don't go with you now, what are you going to do? Put me in prison? Or maybe worse, maybe you'll have me killed like Doris Pierpont, right? James, you're hurting me.
Hey, Emily.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by Ultra Pampers, the diaper with the lock-away core. Even when they're wet, they're dry. And by Tartar Control Crest, original flavor and now in a new fresh mint gel. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now, part 2 of As the World Turns.
If I have to answer any more questions, I insist on having my attorney present.
Mrs. Lawrence, we welcomed you to bring your attorney with you, but you didn't seem to think it was necessary.
How was I to know I was going to get the 3rd degree? I've been answering questions for hours now.
You're not so special, Miss Lawrence. We're questioning everybody who knew James Stenbeck.
This is ridiculous. I have told you I haven't seen or heard from James since last February. And I never laid eyes on Doris Pierpont until the other day in Fashions. And I barely noticed her then.
When James Stenbeck left Oakdale, there was a rumor going around that you and he were involved in some sort of stock takeover of Walsh Enterprises. Is that rumor true?
Absolutely not. Detective Hughes, why would I risk my reputation and my very lucrative business dealings with Lucinda to join forces with a man who is facing murder charges and kidnapping charges?
I could think of 1 or 2 reasons.
You say you spent most of last night with your accountant?
And my attorney. You have no idea the chaos that has resulted since Holden Snyder left town. I have been working round the clock.
Except for one little jaunt down to Palm Beach.
That was, I had to do that. I was looking after the renovations of my house there. And I was so utterly exhausted that I decided to stay for a few days in seclusion. It is hardly the season, you know, very quiet.
And very close to where we found James Stenbeck's yacht. With a body draped over the anchor.
Well, I read about that in the papers, of course.
Okay, lady's alibi for last night checks out.
My alibi? Do you mean I have been a suspect for
murder? Yes, you're free to go now, except that we wouldn't like you to go taking off anywhere, like to Palm Beach or any other place like that.
By what right?
Mrs. Lawrence, we're asking you very nicely, and since you have nothing to hide, I'm sure you'll be more than willing to cooperate, right?
Detective Hughes, I realize you are desperate because James is making fools out of all of you. But I will not allow you to use me to score points for your district attorney husband, Detective Hughes.
You know what? I laugh, but I don't think that's funny.
Was that Corinne Lawrence?
The one and only. You here on official business? You here to see Roy?
Official business. Are you guys trying to pin this Doris Pierpont murder on Duncan McKechnie? He called me this morning.
He called everybody this morning. And, by the way, I ran into Tom over at Duncan's because Duncan called him and asked him to come over because he wanted to apologize for his remarks last night.
Duncan apologized?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Well, I saw Tom after that little visit, and Duncan remembered something interesting. He said that when Doris told him she knew the identity of Stenbeck's contact, he told her to come directly to the police. And she said that she wasn't sure that going to the police was the best way to handle it. Strange, huh?
So,
That's why I said the things that I did, because I thought that maybe somebody in the Hughes house might be listening. I am just really very glad that I didn't change your plans to come here and see your father.
You know, you sounded very convincing.
I didn't have a choice, Paul. You know, but your dad loves you so much.
Yeah, I know. And he loves you, too. And I'm glad you're still on our side. So how long can you stay? What do you say we go for a swim or go fishing or whatever you want to do?
No. I'm going to stay here and talk to your dad, okay?
All right.
But I promise I will come out and say goodbye before I leave.
Great.
Okay, Paul. You take care of yourself, okay, sweetie?
Yeah. You too.
Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
All right. See you guys later. I'm going to go for a swim.
You be careful.
Yeah.
All right?
You got it.
Paul's right. You're very convincing.
James, I am so tired of your lies.
It's not lies. I love him.
James, if you really loved Paul, you would let him go. What kind of a life is he going to have with you? I mean, he's going to be hiding out just like you do. In these dark places that you seem to love so much. James, if you really loved Paul, you would leave town and just forget about him.
I can't, Emily. I can't leave him behind any more than I could leave you behind. Now look at me and tell me what you see. Look in my eyes. All right, you say you can't trust what I say. But look at me. I can't pretend. You look in my eyes and tell me that I don't still love you very much.
James. I know you loved me once, James. I'm so sure of that.
I still do love you very much. Emily. We belong together.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm sorry about what happened this morning. I really am. It was really, really stupid. Thanks for straightening me out again.
It's okay. As long as you know that drinking's not going to solve your problems.
I learned that a long, long time ago. But it doesn't make any difference.
Will you stop?
I'm such a downer, I know.
Look, why don't I come over tonight? I'll help you study?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, my parents won't be there, so they won't bug us. But you've got other things to do.
Look, what time?
I've got chemistry in an hour. What time do you get off?
6. I'll call you then, okay?
Okay, all right. Now, we're meeting for a little bit later. One of the ice sculptures is going to go there, and another one's over here somewhere. Oh, can't you be a little bit excited?
Meg, after my meeting this afternoon, I'll be ready for a party tonight. Don't worry.
Good, because this party is for you. So that we can get to know all the most important people in Oakdale. You can meet business associates and become incredibly successful.
Look, I appreciate that, Meg, but let's not forget that this party is for our wedding reception, all right?
Okay.
Does it bother you that you didn't have the sort of wedding that Franny Hughes is planning? With a gown by Barbara Ryan and a church filled with flowers? Hmm?
Don't be silly. It's what happens after the ceremony that counts. You're a wonderful husband. I'm the happiest woman alive.
Good. Well, I have to get to my meeting.
Oh.
All right?
Well, I hope this mysterious meeting is whatever you want it to be. And just tonight, you know it's going to be perfect. A perfect party.
Good. Hi, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm just looking for Barbara.
Oh, no, you're not interrupting. I was just going. Lisa, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Hal, Barbara isn't here, but I think she's over at the new factory.
How'd she seem to you?
Jittery. Really, I've never seen her as nervous as she's been lately.
Yeah, I'm worried about her.
I'm so glad to hear that. Well, you know what I mean by that. I'm glad that the two of you are still friends.
Me too.
Hal, look, I know it's none of my business. But you know me, I have to say what's on my mind anyway. I don't blame you at all for what happened between Tom and Margot. I really do like you, and I don't want to see you hurt.
I know what I'm dealing with.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tom and Margot have very strong ties between each other, and I think as many times as Margot may ask for a divorce, still those ties are going to be there. And someday you're going to have to just face that fact.
Well, Lisa, there's another little fact maybe you should face. I love Margot. And that's not some sudden revelation brought about by ouzo and moonlight on a Greek beach. I've been fighting loving Margot for a long time now because I knew the risks. Because I was aware of the ties between Margot and Tom. But let me tell you something. There are ties between Margot and me now, too. I made a commitment to her in Greece, and I'm not backing off until Margot tells me that's what she wants.
Hal, wait a minute. What if those ties tear her apart?
From what Jessica told me, this Juro deal sounds like a great thing.
Yeah, I know. Sierra is very excited because they're going to keep the name of Craig's business and then sell it back to him when he, well, if he gets back.
Sierra still believes that Craig's alive, doesn't she? Wish I did.
I know, but Sierra isn't the only one. When Lucinda found out about this offer, she tried to match it, but I guess Jessica had already set the deal. And then Lucinda said, well, it really didn't matter anyway because Craig would get his business back.
Wait a minute, Lucinda's the one who's been actively trying to convince Sierra that Craig is...
I know. Something obviously has changed her mind. I don't know.
Margot, what are you doing here?
Hi. Listen, I have to get some work done before Meg's party. I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Hey, so you going to Meg's party?
Well, I really don't want to, but...
Well, I think you should go. I think you and Casey both should go, because that way, if you both go, then I'll have the house to myself. Bliss?
Margot...
What?
Casey won't be there anymore. He's moved out.
Why, Mama, what, because of me?
No, not because of you or anybody else. Not even Taylor Baldwin. I realize that now.
What happened, Mama?
Nothing. Just Casey wants something that I can't give him.
I know the feeling. Oh, Mama. You've got to go.
You never even told me why you're
That's
here.
all right. It can wait. I'll see y'all later.
Hi, well, you all settled in Geordie's?
I guess. So?
So? I don't know what to say.
I know what I want you to say.
But I can't.
Well, then, maybe we shouldn't say anything. Let's let the dust clear. I just want you to know that I still love you. And I probably always will.
Lila.
Excuse me.
Casey told me what happened. I'm very sorry.
Are you?
Yes, I am. I know Casey well enough to know how much he loves you and how much he's hurting right now. I'm sure that you must be hurting too. And if I am in any way responsible...
No, no, you're not. Casey and I are very clear on that. It's nobody's fault. It just happened. Excuse me.
Thanks for coming. Enjoy Yellowstone. Thank you very much.
Whoa, you weren't clear when you said this is a busy morning. What a bankroll.
I'll say. I haven't had this much money in my pocket in a while.
Hey, well, you could have more if you started working part-time for Mary Pat's father and working here.
Forget it. Grace said that place is like an hour away, which means I wouldn't be able to spend any time with you.
But you would have more money to send home.
Right now, you come first. I'm sure that Mama, Seth, and Iva would feel that way, too. I'll
figure out something, some way to help them.
I know what you've given up to be here with me. Your family, your career. I know what it's cost you.
And in exchange, I got the world.
What about your future?
Look, you are my future. When are you going to realize that, huh? Look, you made your decision to stay here, and I'm going to stay here with you. And that's that.
Oh, hi. I know that Mr. Jury's not coming here till 4 o'clock with the contracts, but I was just too anxious. I wanted to come over. I didn't want to wait at home.
That's okay. I said she'd be by 2 if she could finish up at the hospital.
Great. Now, is there any word on who's going to be in charge here?
I don't know yet, but if you stick around till 4, you'll meet him. I can't believe how big he's gotten.
I know. Craig is not going to recognize you. Betsy, don't look at me like that. I know that Craig is alive, and I can't explain it. Don't ask me to, but I know he's alive.
I know you do. And I know you've convinced your mother of that, too. I hope they're not canceling that.
You want to see your daddy's office?
Montgomery & Associates? Oh, hi, Graham. Well, no. As a matter of fact, I was trying to track Emily down myself. Well, I talked to Lisa earlier, and she had been by Fashions and then got some kind of phone call and ran off in a big hurry and didn't tell anyone where she was going. No, no one's seen her since.
I never want to be without you for so long again. We belong together, Emily. You'll never get away from me.
You've never given me a choice, James. I've been a prisoner of yours in one way or another.
I think we're both prisoners.
Why don't you answer it?
Why don't you go get dressed, okay? Go ahead. Hello? Oh, good. Good. When? Well, all the pieces are falling into place. And what about McKechnie? No, I didn't think he would be arrested. That wasn't part of the plan. I'm not through with Mr. McKechnie yet. He's going to pay for his insolence. And he's going to pay dearly. Right. Well, everything seems to be on schedule. I'll be in touch.
Just what in hell is going on, James?
Stay tuned for Guiding Light. Next on most of these CBS stations. Fashions by I. Kleinfeld & Son. Menswear by Aquascutum of London, Fifth Avenue, New York. Join us tomorrow for the Emmy Award winner, As the World Turns.